Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sick or healthy, rain or shine.
That's an inside joke.
Secrets. Well, it'll be an outside joke soon. I'll get that out there.
Yes, as soon as you start throwing up, they'll be all outside.
Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture. We do it all right here from New York City. As always, I'm your host, Michael Dolce, comic book graphic novelist extraordinaire. See, you get your title. I got my title now, too. I like guru, actually. I'm a guru.
Still not as good as Lord of the Radio, so.
And as always, joined by my co-host, the Lord of the Radio, Mr. Hassan Godwin, who, again, we've tried to dissect how you become a Lord of the Radio. We haven't quite figured that out.
It ruined everything if I have to explain it.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it really?
It's kind of, it's going back to the line of kings and, conquering nations, and so it's a long story.
Yeah.
Who's got time for that?
We've got our engineer, Sam, our engineer extraordinaire, Sam.
Who's not paying attention.
Our alpha intern, Anna, who's here as well, too.
Alpha intern.
Yes. Right? You're an alpha. You're not a beta.
Yeah. And
you're not a delta.
Your name. So, see? He didn't take my recommendation.
Just call her the girl?
Yeah.
Like that was what that was your recommendation. It's like, amid the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, you're like, let's just call her the girl.
It's not about her being a girl. She's a person.
I
right?
agree, yes. That's exactly the point.
So what's into the names? Why waste our time with names?
So you're just going to delineate her by gender. What if she's psi-gender?
She's a person.
What if she doesn't define herself by girl or boy?
That's too deep for me right now.
That's too deep for you?
Yeah,
did I just completely rock your world?
Yeah.
You know what else is too deep? I got picked up on our last video.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't
Elizabeth from, I think she's Buenos Aires.
Oh, they can see you, right? So they know, yeah.
Well, she said she's very cute, very cute. Mm-hmm. You have a very cute face. I had to hit the Google Translate. Because I did. That's the loudest you've ever been. Well, she was talking in Spanish. Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish. So yes, I was like, okay, well, thank you for watching. And then she says, question, are you single?
Oh.
And I thought about it for a second, and then I said, I'm happily married. And she said, God bless you and your family.
Oh.
And I said, thank you for listening.
Shut it down.
And then I secretly messaged. No, I didn't.
Well, it's not a secret anymore.
No, I know. Well, if my wife, who is homesick right now, and let's wish her the best, and hope she, if she sees a ticket to Buenos Aires, on her credit card. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know what you. I don't know.
Someone stole something and something happened.
Wouldn't that be like the ultimate catfish though? Like I actually fly out to Buenos Aires and it's like some dude named Frank.
Dude, if you did that all off of that, then you deserved everything.
Yeah, I agree. Like
a cute nod.
If I documented
an anonymous nod from some faceless person out there in the ether, and you're on your bike right away to Buenos Aires, that's you.
Like a bicycle. Like
on your bike is a term.
I guess technically I could bike.
Phrase,
I could bike to Buenos Aires, right? Because it's all landmass, right? I mean,
you gotta, yeah,
right. But can't they close like that bridge? Like, isn't there like a way? I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Why are we?
I'm just very curious. Now you got me really interested to see if I could bike to Buenos Aires.
We shouldn't discover that now.
All right, we should instead talk about the wonderful show that we have.
Yeah, maybe.
We got TV's Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Not just TV, Incredible Hulk.
TV's, it's not just TV's.
TV's Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
He's also in Ragnarok, isn't he?
He is in Thor Ragnarok. He's going to talk a little bit about that. That comes out next week.
It does, doesn't it?
Another thing that comes out this Friday is Stranger Things 2. Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But
I've
first,
just actually been rewatching those.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna
get back into the mood.
Yeah. But this is a couple things first. A little housekeeping. House housekeeping. We're on Amazon Alexa. Just download the Spreaker podcast radio player on Amazon. Enable it.
Yes, hear us, know us.
Alexa,
love us.
Open Spreaker. Alexa, open Secrets of the Sire, and you can listen to our most latest podcast, which last week was Billy Corgan. Which again, if you look at the Facebook videos on facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, you can actually see where I'm getting hit on. It's fantastic. It's a big ego boost.
I'm gonna check that
I love
out.
Every second of
That's
that.
Like the first thing I'm going to do.
And
he's into Aliens. We found out, even though we didn't find out in the interview.
I know.
If you have to listen to the whole show to find out about that.
No, I know. And as always, I want to give a shout out to our beloved patrons who, I apologize, I got all of our stuff out to patrons late today because, again, my wife was sick. My son was sick. My son is like bouncing around, though. He's totally fine.
Blame it on your family.
I just did.
You got to take personal responsibility, Mike.
We have dedicated fans: Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, Ashley Haikai, our program director Stephanie Dolce, our executive producer Steve Ovecki, Brian Phillips, and Christina Gillen, and as always, our Uber fan Christina Dolce, who we wish the best to get better. Of course, I wish the best so that she does not infect me. That's really what I wish.
It's too late, man.
Yeah. So we have our Halloween episode. This is our Halloween episode because Halloween's next week. It's actually next Tuesday.
You said Halloween 4 times.
Yeah, it's next
under
Tuesday.
10 minutes.
Well, yeah, because we're still in the first segment, so yeah, it's 5 minutes in. So obviously, we're going to do a little Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers thing. We're going to pick your favorite slasher film villain. Can they share
personally?
Can they share a movie universe? Like, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Are you giving it away?
But first, we're going to start with what is the quintessential Halloween. Did it again. Topic, which is zombies, and more importantly, it's Walking Dead.
How is that the quintessential Halloween topic?
Because zombies are like
pumpkins.
Okay, I mean, we could talk about Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin.
Pumpkin Spice.
Which, is that on yet? I haven't even seen if that's on.
I haven't seen it. No,
the Great Pumpkin's tremendous.
That is probably the greatest piece of entertainment that's ever existed.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I would say
it
that's
is
the greatest Snoopy.
No, the greatest
Snoopy.
No, all of it. Greatest piece of entertainment.
Anna, you're like young. Do you
No.
Have you seen The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown? Yeah, is that your favorite?
How do you don't get past childhood without seeing The Great Pumpkin at least once.
No?
No.
What's your favorite Charlie Brown?
The Christmas one.
Oh, the Christmas one's really good. Uh-oh. That's a death stare from Hassan. You can't see this on camera.
The tree that got murdered by the bulb.
Yeah.
You put the bulb on it and it killed the tree. That always used to depress me when I was a kid. I was like, no, not the tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm sad again.
Yeah. So The Walking Dead season 8 premiere.
That's not a segue.
That's as good as I'm going to get. Drew lowest opening ratings since season 3. Okay, so according to the Chicago Tribune, The Walking Dead season 8 premiere, also the show's 100th episode, posted the series' lowest premiere rating since its 3rd season.
It's diminishing returns from last season.
The season 7 premiere drew an 8.4 and 17th million, meaning season 8 was down approximately 40% in the demo and 33% in total viewers. However, it should be noted last season's premiere was the resolution of a major cliffhanger. While the season was not.
Didn't it drop from first episode of last season to the second episode?
Yeah. Oh, tremendous.
It was like a tremendous drop.
Yeah, there was a tremendous drop in that.
Okay.
And it just seems it's really funny because I think season 3 of Walking Dead is when it was always a big hit, but I think around season 3 was when it started becoming like this. Well, maybe season 2. I mean, maybe we'll have some people chime in. I mean, season 2 and 3 were when it started really picking up and became this like obsession to the point where season 4 and season 5 and season 6. This is like must-watch TV, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, I think, last week in terms of viewers. Whether or not we talked about it on the show or privately, we were talking about Walking Dead, and it's a big show, but there just seems to be such a low buzz about it. And I think it's related, obviously, to the events of season 7. I think it ruined.
It needs buzz though, in order to, like, do people need to be told it's coming back and it's going to be on? And
I think that it's in that danger zone of. I don't want to say it's a great song. Top Gun, Maverick.
That's very 80s.
She wasn't even born then. See, that's the Alpha intern. She wasn't even born.
She was here.
The 80s is a.
I deny that.
Is a.
I refuse to believe it.
It's a figment of her imagination. She can speculate. You can speculate as to what the 80s were.
There's no one I know on this planet who wasn't alive in the 80s. I refuse to believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I refuse it.
What about babies?
Nope.
No, babies were born in the 80s too. They were born in the 80s also.
Everyone was born.
So you're like Ready Player One.
1981. Everybody was born.
That's right.
Everyone.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's how it goes.
To be fair, both broadcast show premieres outperformed The Walking Dead, which is The Big Bang Theory and This Is Us, even though in a certain demographic, Walking Dead still did better than them. I'm throwing numbers out there.
How does that math work?
It's in a specific demographic. The numbers were higher for Walking Dead over some of the more popular shows.
Demographic.
Correct.
Right.
But I think it's worth talking.
That's how you parse it out, though. That's how you That's how you pull a win out of a failure.
Sure.
Right. That's what Spider-Man.
Homecoming. Yeah.
Not Homecoming.
No, not Homecoming. Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Sure.
They were like, well, we lowered our expectations, and it exceeded our lowered expectations.
This is true,
and we win.
This is true.
Yeah, and that's how it.
Well, it's all about messaging, right? If you put out the message. But I want to get back to.
It's not all about.
I want to get back to the question you asked, though. Like, does the show need buzz? Does the show need buzz?
I did ask that.
I think when you get into a season 8, regardless of whether or not, I mean, in TV show land, they've only done 100 episodes, right? I mean, comparatively to other shows, that would be a season 5 at this point. Like 24 used to do 24 episodes. Most seasons do 22 episodes.
Yes.
Walking Dead has the favorable.
Because they only have like 15 episodes per season.
It's 13. I mean, it's not a lot at all.
It's been 15 though. There've been times.
There've been times at 15, but they'll split it up 7 and 7. They do the mid-season break, and then it becomes
so obnoxious.
But it's getting to that point now. There's two angles to this, right? One is, does the show need buzz? Probably not, but the events of last season, I think, play into this a lot, right? I mean, without getting spoilerific, but at the same time, look, it's been a year, so I can't not spoil it. There were major deaths at the beginning of last season. The method in which they both died, we might as well just say it. I'm trying to protect the people who haven't seen anything in a year, but I think after a year, you kind of have to, there's was there allowance for that?
It's a 2-week allowance.
I think it's 2-week allowance. So when Glenn and Abraham kicked the bucket at the beginning of last season, I think they did it in such a way that was very. It hurt me, like, in a way. It wasn't poorly done.
Oh, you got hurt?
I just mentally, I was done. Like, I was done.
Huh.
Like, I was done. I looked at it, I'm like, it was so brutal a death and so violent, and it was so almost unnecessary, but it was necessary because it took, kind of happened in the comics too. I remember having Russ Wooten from Walking Dead on. He's the letterer from Walking Dead, and I basically said, like, it was so brutal. I'm kind of like, I don't want to watch the next episode now. I mean, I think that's kind of playing into it a little bit too. So I think this season, last season, people had to kind of come back to last season. There were a lot of people that felt the way I felt. I mean, what did you think?
I haven't watched since, I don't know. I haven't watched for 2 years. I think there was I think my attitude about The Walking Dead is pretty bad. I have a pretty bad attitude about it.
Yeah, well, let's hear it. I like bad attitudes.
I just don't think it's a good show.
Why don't you think it's a good show?
Because it's like how it's one note. It had a lot of potential, and then it just kind of found that one note and just said, "I'm just going to keep ringing this bell for the next 10 years." And we're not going to get out of the woods. We're not going to do anything smart to kind of protect ourselves from the obvious threat that's out there. And, there is the irony of like, they're the Walking Dead, because all of them are going to die, or some such. And the most dangerous people in the zombie apocalypse are the people who are still alive.
Sure.
Right? I get it all. It's very introspective. It's very,
Well, this season, the past season turned into more of like a mafia.
Whatever.
Kind of.
I couldn't even get it. I did see the episode. I did see the premiere. I did see Glenn die. I did see Abraham die. And then I kind of had the same reaction as you, but I was kind of desensitized to it because I'd already been done.
You were already
with the
done
show.
at that point.
Yeah. So that just kind of solidified it for me. I'm like, this is bull. Plus the fact that the season before that, they had already teased Glenn's death. They already milked Glenn's death for like 5 episodes. I
agree with you on that too. And I think they really, I mean, there was only so much we could sit there and be like,
Yeah, and give me a break.
Yeah.
And then like, what's the point? All these people are going to die. None of them are doing anything smart to kind of get themselves out of the situation. There's they have this kind of quirk where everything is going well and someone will do something stupid to have it all stop going well. That's a bad device to keep using.
What do you guys think? Do you think we're done with Walking Dead? We'll read some of your comments when we come back, and then we're going to also talk about the premiere, the most highly anticipated premiere, I think, of a TV show all year, coming up next.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday, 9 to 10 Eastern Time, and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential. Live life your way on talkradio.nyc.
do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Joined by my esteemed colleague and co-host, Lord of the Radio.
Lord of the Radio.
Lord of the Radio.
Thank you very much.
Do you have to apply? Do you have to go to college for that? Is there some sort of classes?
I could tell you how to become Lord of the Radio, but then you'd become Lord of the Radio, and I wouldn't be Lord of the Radio
This is
anymore.
very true.
No such thing as co-lord.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern at talkradio.nyc and streaming live on facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture. This is our Hallows Eve episode, so we have zombies, we have Stranger Things, we have aliens, we have ghosts and goblins, and, well, I mean, what else do kids dress up as?
Witches.
Witches? That's a derogatory. That's very derogatory to dress up like that. You're offending an entire Wiccan population by doing that.
Which is derogatory? Which witch is derogatory?
Just dressing up like a witch. That's a stereotype. It's an ugly stereotype. Ugly stereotype. You're such a racist.
That's true. I'm seeking help for it.
I win! Finally, I win!
I just had no rebuttal.
I just completely...
You found me out.
I just completely just blew your mind there, didn't I? You're like, wait a minute. You're right.
I hate witches.
It is a stereotype.
I've always hated witches.
How about that?
I've never been able to forgive them for the death of my son.
Scott Fortier, commenting on Walking Dead Talk,
Fortier,
said...
good last name, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Did I butcher it? I don't think I butchered it.
No, that sounded all right.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like a butchering.
He said he gave up on The Walking Dead a long time ago. Really hard watching entire episodes of previously on The Walking Dead.
Ha! Yeah. You know when I quit?
Yeah.
There was a couple of seasons ago, there was Alexandria. They had just gotten to Alexandria, and they were deciding whether to vote Rick out. They get rid of Rick because Rick is a little edgy. He was all edgelord that season.
Well, he had a PTSD at that point,
right,
too.
Which he didn't have last season because he just became a wimp the whole season and let Negan, monologue through the entire.
So wait, let me. Go ahead.
So they're about to vote him out. He's going to be gone. The husband of the guy of the woman that he's been shtupping.
Well, he didn't shtup her.
He was actually he never got to because she got zombied like a couple of episodes after that.
Right. They did not get the shtup, but he was preparing the shtup.
He was
laying the groundwork.
It was a preliminary shtup, right? Yeah, it was a survey, right? So he shows up with the Michonne's samurai sword, and accidentally cuts the wrong person's throat.
Right.
Like, do you know how hard it is to cut anybody's throat in the first place? And he not only does he not get who he's aiming for, but he totally accidentally kills someone else.
Right.
And he didn't stab him.
No.
He didn't hurt. He didn't cut a finger off. Oops, I'm sorry.
You've said many things in this now that I think is something. How do you bite somebody's throat off? Like, that was an actual scene in Walking Dead where Rick, at one point, because they're about to do some bad things to his son, he literally was in an arm lock, so he bit. I mean,
how do you bite someone's throat off and then become neutered an entire season?
Do zombies?
How does that work?
See, that was the second thing you said. And in the comics, this is one of the measures of whether the show is Priya commented. She said, like a vampire. This is one of the... hi, Priya.
I guess you could if you do that.
This is one of the things that you can kind of measure how the show is doing, in my mind, right? Like, if the show is doing well, it's better than the comic book. Season 2, I will always harken back to season 2. In the comic book, in the show, for a good 6 episodes, they are literally worried about the barn, right? What's in the barn? What's the secret that's in the barn? What's Herschel doing? What's he keeping there? And then they find out he's hoarding like all of these zombies in there. And it's like, oh my God, this is a big secret. Why is he doing it? Is he crazy? Is he this or is he that? And it turns out he wasn't crazy, but he thought he could eventually turn them back into real people. That's what he was doing. He didn't want to kill people. Wow, what a reveal. What an interesting concept. And then, obviously everything goes to heck in that season, and the people in the barn get loose, and you realize Sophia's in the barn. You're like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Sophia. In the comic book, one panel, they come into the farm, and Rick talks to Herschel, and Herschel's like, all right, Rick, you can stay here as long as you want to. No worries. Just don't go in the barn. I got some dead people in the barn. I think I can turn them back. And it's like, wow, the TV show just destroyed the comic book. Absolutely destroyed it. But then you flip going back, and you're like, this season with Rick being neutered. In the comic book, Rick is neutered, and then he has a quiet scene with Andrea, who's still alive.
Isn't he neutered because he loses his hand?
No. He lost the hand. He lost the hand many issues ago. No. He has a conversation with Andrea, who basically still alive in the comics, and who is basically Michonne. Michonne is the lover in this, and he says to her, and he's like, "Well, I need them to believe that I'm neutered." And it happens very quickly, because even Andrea's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, where's the Rick that I fell in love with? Where's the Rick that's going to take down the governor? Where's all these people? And he's like, he's still here. I need them to believe that I am done, because hell yeah, we're going to fight back. And it's like, oh, good. And then I'm in on it the entire time. And you
didn't see the last 5 episodes though, right? Of that season.
This past season, I'm 4 episodes behind. I know he comes back, but the first 7 episodes, he is essentially neutered, and he.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, I guess the point is that if he is indeed playing that game, the showrunners are going to let us all think that he's neutered, everybody, and which I understand the gimmick. I understand the need for it. It's a very clever gimmick. The problem is it's dangerous, because if I don't want to see him like that, and I don't know he's playing a game, I'm going to tune out. I'm going to get out of there.
No, I saw the entire first half of last season, and at the very end of last season is when Rick wakes up, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I do want to get back into this, and we should stop him." And then the rest of the next season is just him kind of laying the groundwork to take him down. So no, there was no wool being put over our eyes. Rick was effectively neutered.
Well, then that's terrible.
I agree, and I think that's where we're starting to kind of see things.
The bad thing about that show is the rewatchability is so low. Like once you get past the flash and the explosions, like you're never gonna watch Beth get killed again.
No,
you're never gonna watch that again.
I know,
because it's so stupid.
Well, it's Wedding Crashers. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about it again now. So it's just there's so many hit points.
Yeah.
That the show was peaking at these hit points that will never work again.
Yeah.
Because it never bothers to kind of find an identity and develop a narrative that would have like a kind of a quality storytelling.
That you could rewatch over and over again.
That would have a quality.
I think some of the earlier episodes do, though. I think some of the times when they're in Atlanta, when they're actually in downtown,
that's an argument.
Yeah.
That's a lot of argument with people, because a lot of people I know like it, started to like it after he left.
Yeah. Well, I think it did get better after he left. However,
I disagree.
Just like you said, though,
only when season 1. Season 2 was the worst season of.
No, I disagree.
Season 2 is highly considered a terrible season.
Season 2, I thought, had some really, like I said, I thought they did a nice job with the barn.
I'm saying it's the general consensus is that season 2 is probably one of the.
I'm
going to
give you my favorite answer. It's my show. It's your show too.
Let's see how long that works.
I know.
See how long
we're going to redo all the branding. It's going to be great. Another show that's got a lot of pressure on it. It's coming out on Friday, and it's Stranger Things 2. Now, Sam, did you see Stranger? You saw Stranger Things, right?
Segue.
Anna, did you see?
First half.
First half. You didn't finish it yet?
No.
Oh no.
These kids today, man, they don't finish anything.
It's a millennial thing?
Yeah, it's a millennial.
It's a millennial thing. I want to throw this out to the audience, too. Would you, if you were going to quit a job, would you just not show up? Throw this out there. I want people's responses. We'll read some responses.
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to get passionate.
Would you not do it?
I've done it.
You've done it? You've just not showed up?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was a terrible job, though.
Was it like Gravedigger?
It was a couple of rungs below that.
Rungs below that? Grave sitter? Like what is that?
Yeah,
like you had to literally sit in the grave?
It's to the point where it'd be detrimental for me to describe.
Were you a prostitute?
The deal
That's fantastic if you were.
Yeah.
I could see you doing really well.
It was a form of prostitution.
You could do really well out there on the street. Are you kidding me?
I don't think so. I disagree.
You don't? You don't
think so? I
so?
think you're being disingenuous with me
I think
now.
I'm being very genuine. Who wouldn't want a big black teddy bear? Come on.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to stay on that, huh?
Nah, we're going to go to Stranger Things, too.
Yeah, thank God.
Sorry.
I will honestly say it was a form of prostitution.
To be fair, I was actually going to say chocolate teddy bear because I wanted to get the sexy angle in there. But my mind just didn't work.
Because you're a racist.
Well, yeah. We've established we're both racists on the show.
Witches are really, nobody really cares.
It's not I thought you were going to say nobody cares about witches.
Nobody cares. I hate witches. Nobody cares about witches.
Witches be crazy, yeah. Stranger Things 2 is a bloated sci-fi sequel.
Here we go.
This is one review.
Toxic fandom.
Stranger Things Season 2 takes a big risk while reminding you why you fell in love with it in the first place. 2 totally different reviews, one from Business Insider and the other from Entertainment Weekly.
Read the bad one first, because that's what the people are tuning in for.
All right. Stranger Things 2 is a bloated sci-fi sequel. A lack of originality was never the show's problem. When you go to see an 80s cover band, you're not listening for new material. You could appreciate how the Duffers took the extra fan-fictional step of throwing all their action figures together into one... I'm not even going to be able to pronounce this. And one lost Amblintopia. Okay, very easy. Amblin Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Good little shout out there. Mm-hmm. Making Hawkins, Indiana, their own hyper-specific version of Once Upon a Time's Storybrooke. So many other white dude directors who grew up in the Reagan area are approaching middle age, having made careers from rebooting our most beloved franchises
That's racist already.
with much simpler strategy. Well, it's not racist when you talk about white people. Remember that. Star Wars, but with the Death Star again. Transformers, but with King Arthur. There are worse ideas than girl talking 80s genre classics into a synth-heavy stew. I mean, it's just it's very wordy, this review. But essentially, it all boils down to...
millennial.
And there was the possibility, because you need to make yourself smarter than you are.
You just discovered his thesaurus.
If I was talking to him...
There's a book with words about other words.
If I was talking to this guy who reviewed and he was talking to me about music, I would say I like Sonic Youth. That's what I would do. That's my fight. If you want to catch up on any of our videos, including Billy Corgan's interview where he says that exact line, go to our YouTube channell, youtube.com.
After you just mouthed off about a whole bunch of things. He's like,
you know how it goes.
Well, you're wrong. I like that. So.
Yeah. We're gonna continue this discussion too, because it does boil down to are we just...
Is that the end of the review?
It goes on a little bit more, so I will
like
get
the
that
whole book, right?
Yeah, he really goes into
chapter
it.
8.
I know, it's very, very wordy, which we just talked about, though. In Stranger Things 2, there's a moment where a little girl is playfully pairing off 2 toys, He-Man and Barbie. Surely that is some sort of truly wild, nostalgia-baked fantasia in the brewing. Swordsy high fantasy mixed with accessorized consumerism fantasy.
What the hell? Okay, shut the...
When we come back, more Stranger Things 2. Is it going to live up to the hype? And should we even care?
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
If you have an interest in marijuana, you want to know about marijuana, law, policy, and culture, then feel free to join me, Joseph A. Bondi, every Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning on my show In the Know 420 on TalkingAlternative.com.
Legalize the herb to continue to resist the passage of this necessary legislation.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Pornhub traffic plummets during Game of Thrones season premiere. Porn provider Pornhub reports their site traffic was down 4.5% on Sunday when HBO aired the popular fantasy series.
Here's a ridiculous question that probably no one asked.
Yeah.
Who did they report that to?
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture. We have a great guest coming up a little bit later, too. We have Lou Ferrigno, who'll be at the back end of this segment, talking a whole bunch of stuff. Got to give our shout out to Jerry Milani, Wizard World Chicago. It's the last of our Wizard World Chicago interviews.
Yeah, we milked that for all.
We milked it as
mined it.
Yeah, we really did, which is fantastic. So he's going to talk a little Thor Ragnarok. He's going to talk a little bit about his past, getting bullied. Great guest. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how he got into the whole bodybuilding thing. It was pretty extraordinary.
I'll do it.
But we were talking Stranger Things 2.
This mouth breather who wrote this a terrible article about entertainment and about product placement and stuff like that. Let's just clear this up. All entertainment is about it's all interchangeable. It's about product. It's about sensationalism. It's
not art and it's not telling a story.
It is art, but it's art. It's pop art.
Yeah.
Okay. It's art. It's cultural art.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything that's part of the culture is
everything
relevant.
Nostalgic now is nostalgia is a big thing now.
It's too much. It is. We're getting to the point where it's too much nostalgia. But I cannot stand these reviews where people use phrases like "this was unnecessary."
Yeah.
All art is unnecessary.
Right.
The Mona Lisa wasn't necessary.
Sure.
Nobody said, I'd like paint a portrait of a semi-pretty woman that's kind of symmetrical that I can't tell whether she's, her eyes follow me every time I walk around the room.
I would say...
No one asked for that.
What is defined as necessary then, right? Food and water. Food, water, and air, right?
Yeah, if you want to break it even further down, if you want to get into the weeds of that comment.
using that word, I think art is necessary too, though.
No, the theory of this sequel wasn't necessary, this is not necessary, or whatever. That's
sure.
That's a go-to. That's a faux intellectual go-to.
Right.
Everybody's getting together and they're using these kind of clever phrases to try to sound like their opinion of something is relevant, or they try to delegitimize something by explaining how utterly irrelevant or unnecessary something was.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about necessity, none of this entertainment stuff is necessary for survival, right? So if you get a sequel,
you could argue that having distractions from your daily life is necessary.
Not on the level of these people are talking about.
No, well, these people are just talking to talk.
Yeah,
they're just
like we're doing
words
right now, right?
No, but we are entertainingly humorous and enjoyable.
Oh, are we? Okay, so
and racist.
That's fun. Yeah, you're the racist. I just don't like witches. There's another word for that. But anyway, because witches isn't a race. That's a religion. So duh. So anyway, yes, chicken. It's a religion.
Yeah. Oh,
okay, let's not discuss this. Yeah. Thank you.
How about that?
That's what she's on
let's
my
hear
side.
a good review. You want to hear a good review?
Oh, there's a good review?
So,
but did that guy ever talk about the show and say I don't like the show?
He does, but it's just it's a lot more like that.
It's all this flower word hyperbole all the way up until
that was flower word hyperbole. That was very very well done. You've got you raised your intellectual slack to combat other intellectual slackers.
What?
Yeah. Stranger Things 2 remains.
What just happened?
Takes a big risk while reminding you why you fell in love with it in the first place.
And now this person's going to assume that I love it.
This guy, so I boiled this one down a little bit better for you. The second season of Stranger Things isn't as seamless as season 1, but it stays true to the characters and world everyone fell in love with last summer.
Everybody dies at the end, right? He just goes into spoiler in the second line.
The exciting, spooky new season gives other characters the spotlight, but a plotline focusing on 11 falls flat. The season's biggest strength is that it never tries to top season 1.
Well, you should. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
I get. I said a couple of weeks ago that this show is probably not going to top last season.
Sure.
For the level of popularity, right? Probably not going to do it. It never does.
Sarcasm.
I know.
Okay.
I'm getting past it because it's not funny. They never do. They never live up to the hype. I don't understand why people expect the continuation of something to live up to the beginning. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to get a show that's a great show, the second day, everybody treats the seasons like they're movies, like they're features, right? The second season is just a continuation of the first season.
Sure.
It's just a continuation of the story.
Sure.
So it's going to have ebbs and flows and stuff like that. So it's not like a movie. You didn't wait 3 years to see another movie. And it's like, well, that movie just wasn't as great. I left my house. I spent X amount of money. I sat down in this theater to see this movie, to have the experience I had 3 years ago.
Sure.
That's understandable. I sat here on my freaking sofa and watched Netflix again the year later, and I was not elated the second year. Well,
I think though when it comes down to Stranger Things too, though, and I think when it comes down to our culture in general now, there is nothing but chatter. We are chatter. Right, we are chatter. We are part of that.
You don't
of
say
that,
these things,
but
does that make it right?
No, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that it puts a different spin on all these.
But
all
that's
of
not
these things,
conciliatory,
right?
because it's
you could exist if you're a creator of a show. You could exist in a vacuum. It's like being a band, right? I'll use the analogy of being a band. You know, the band's breakout album is always great. The follow-up album very, very rarely lives up to what it was. Why? Because they become they kind of read their own hype in a way. They become hyped up. They read their own hype. They try to combat their own hype instead of going into what made their album great to begin with, which was inspiration, which was art, which was all this other stuff. I think, look, the Duffers were nobodies, right? They were nobodies last year, and they were making this homage to stuff that they loved when they were a kid.
What point are you trying to make?
I'm making that. I think the point I'm trying to make is I think no matter what, I think in today's culture, it's impossible to top things. Because,
I just said that.
Yeah, but I'm doing it much better than you.
No, you're not. Actually, you're doing it pretty badly.
You know, for a giant chocolate teddy bear, you're not doing a good job.
Because I'm not your giant chocolate teddy bear.
That's because you're not being a prostitute anymore. I've got the cash in my pocket.
I'm taking
Let's
a step
take the show
up,
to the
man.
next
I'm
level,
changing my
Hassan.
life.
Let's take the show to the next level.
Get off that.
I think it is.
So
I think it's
horrible. The visuals are horrible.
now, I wasn't visualizing anything.
I can't do anything but visualize. All I do is visualize.
God. Now you ruined
For the
everything.
love of God, man, move on.
God. No, I think though. I guess we are saying the same thing.
Yes. So you're killing
that
me here.
That being said, to disagree with you.
That being said and said again. And resaid.
I think that it is incumbent on the next batch of artists, the next group, to be cognizant of it. I think you can be. I think you can be cognizant that if I'm making something...
You just said that the band tries to top its own greatness because they're cognizant of the greatness from the first time, and then they try to compete with the greatness, and that's what makes it bad.
Yes, and now I'm saying that you can be cognizant of all that and rise above it.
How are you cognizant? There's only one kind of cognizant. If you're aware of your greatness and you try to compete with your greatness, or you try to be aware of your greatness, you can't rise above your own awareness of the greatness. So if the last guy was aware of his greatness, the next guys can only be as aware as the last guy.
We made an album together, right? We made an album which we still haven't released, but we'll get that out there.
Let's not talk about the past.
I felt when we were making it like we were clicking on a artistic level.
We as in the band, not you and I personally.
No,
the
right.
big teddy bear thing, right? Okay, let's just get the imagery. Let's get the terms
Look,
clear.
we gained more viewers when I said this. So
no.
We'll do anything for ratings.
No, we won't. No, we won't. Stop.
What's that Simpsons line?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's hurting my head. It's hurting my head. My head hurts. Please finish your point.
My point is that I think that you can be cognizant of the fact that if you are on a run, to milk that run as much as humanly possible. So if you are creating a season one, if you are creating a season one, and realize like, hey, we're doing something really extraordinary here. Let's not stop here right now. Let's plan out season 2. Let's get that in the books before anything happens. I'm saying I think it's going to be incumbent to start thinking Not just one season.
Then
but
season
think
one
even more.
comes out and everybody loves something about it that you didn't anticipate. So now you
But it's
almost.
done. That's my point. Season 2's already done.
But then if you put that out and you say, "Look, I'm defying it. I'm not following the trend. I defy you,"
I know.
and then it
I know.
sucks, and
I
everyone's
know.
like, "Well, he obviously had
know.
a formula and he
It's
stepped
a
all over it."
lose-lose. It's a
Nobody knows.
lose.
That's the thing. Everybody acts like they know.
I know.
Nobody knows, and the internet will not accept that it doesn't know.
I know.
and
Well,
that is the problem. Even you keep saying, "I know."
We can. You're right. we
Stop
can
saying
ask.
I know.
We can ask.
We're not
Paul
gonna ask-
Reiser, who's actually on the show,
We're not going to ask him that.
and he'll be on our show next week, and we'll ask him these things.
We're
about
not going to ask him,
Stranger
"Hey, man, you're in the season that sucks. Why is that?"
I'll ask him that. He'll be like, "I'm in every season that's. I'm in every show that sucks season 2." All right. Our next guest is.
We're not going to ask Lou.
We're not going to ask Lou that. He was again given our shout out to Jerry Milani from Wizard World Chicago. Set us up with a great interview. Talked to the great Lou Ferrigno. That just came out that way. Well, I think that's it for the show tonight.
I laugh at your impediment.
The great Lou Ferrigno talks about a lot of great things. It was a great interview. It was very kind of him to take 5 minutes and talk to us about Thor Ragnarok and a whole bunch of other things. Here's Lou Ferrigno. Mike Dolce, Secrets of the Sire radio show and podcast here with Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. Lou, how are you feeling today? How's everything going?
It feels great. I'm glad I'm at this convention because you can see the fans are so excited. It's very positive here. There's nothing to do with drugs, sex, and violence. It's all about, entertaining family the fourth generation.
Yeah, and we're at Wizard World Chicago. Now, Lou, you're a veteran of the convention scene. You've been doing the Wizard shows for a long time. Is any highlight, any memory from the show that really stands out to you? Maybe a fan experience, or maybe meeting, a colleague. Any experience with a fan that really, stands out to you, like a really great memory?
Yeah, I got a fan about a few years ago. She had the Hulk tattoo on both of her calf muscle, and she had my signature tattoo. Oh my gosh! I mean, I was so elated when I saw that because I said to myself, "This is the real diehard fan, a real nice woman," and I love her dearly. I mean, I'm thankful when fans do that. I've seen more than one fan that's done this. That's what elates me.
You've been very outspoken. You're an inspiration to people with disabilities before, and you based your entire career on kind of stopping bullying and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about how you got into bodybuilding to kind of counteract all bullies and things like that?
Bodybuilding because my life's about overcoming adversity, and I was bullied my whole life. But the lesson I learned is that sometimes don't be the victim, because sometimes it's the bully that has the problem, because a lot of times when these people get victimized by the bully, they internalize to think that maybe there's something wrong with them. But the bully, it could be a teacher, it could be a relative, it could be somebody online, it could be a neighbor. You need to take action and go to someone and talk about the source. And no matter how much you're being threatened, because it's very important, because sometimes it could cost someone's life.
How cool has it been to see the Hulk front and center again in the Marvel movies? And I know you're involved with some of the Marvel movies now too. I mean, how cool is it to see, kind of 30, 40 years later, that the Hulk is now just as popular in the Marvel movies as it was at the TV show?
Great, because the legacy now is over 40 years, and 2 nights ago we had the big Stan Lee tribute in L.A., and my original producer, Ken Johnson, who brought the Hulk to television, was there. It was like one big grand finale party, and it just shows you that it's bigger and bigger every year.
Do you wish they didn't do the CGI? Do they wish you could get the green makeup on again and do it up?
No, that's that. I've done over 40 films. I've done 5 TV series, and I have aspirations to do other films. I mean, the Hulk has always been a beloved series, but the series I like to remain the way it was. And they have to pay me a lot of money if they want me to play the Hulk doing a commercial, what they did 5 years ago in Italy. They paid me a fortune, but that's the only time I will reprise the role of the Hulk.
Talk to me about, I think you set the record straight, but for our audience as well too, the incident with Flash Gordon that happened.
That was fake news. That was a setup. With Sam Jones and I are very good friends. We've been friends for 37 years.
Yeah, because we were talking about it on the show, and we're like, this doesn't make any sense. So
it's just the way they play it up. People are concerned about it, but it's nothing really happened.
We want to make sure you're okay with we want to make sure that's good. Any upcoming films? Anything you're working on now?
Yes, I just finished a comedy of Game of Thrones called Purge of Thrones. That'll be on Netflix in January, and I just finished doing Instant Death that came out from Sony Pictures about a couple months ago. And I have my big bodybuilder competition in Palm Springs, November 18, 19, called the Ferrigno Legacy. And we have over 500 competitors.
It's fantastic, fantastic. What can you bench right now?
I don't bench anymore. I use machines. I do lightweight training. Okay, all right. Yeah, I used to bench 560.
Well, I'm partially afraid of you. Very, very afraid of you. But at the same time, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Hi, I'm Oscar Nordstrom, author and host of Off the Beaten Path, a show for listeners of every cultural, political, and social leaning. Each Thursday, we'll explore subjects from religion to science to philosophies to live by, and figures from the history books and sports annals, and a frank and informed discussion on social issues, all for enriching your life and bridging the gaps that divide us. Join me on a thought-provoking journey off the beaten path every Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. live on talkradio.nyc.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
TalkingAlternative.com.
Contemplating how to do this, you being on camera next week.
I'm going to go get some sun then. Get ready. Don't read into it.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
That was,
class.
That was very racially
Have some
insensitive.
class. See, there it is.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
See, you ruined it. It was a subtle nod to it now, and you just kind of hit it over the head with a hammer.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire.
Stop calling me Svengali.
This has been a very enlightening episode here. I want to thank Lou Ferrigno. I want to even I can't pronounce his name every single
Lou Ferrigno.
Loof. I said Loof.
Loof.
Loof Ferrigno.
Loofwaffe.
I want to thank Lou Ferrigno. He was tremendous. I want to
Yes,
thank,
he was. Because he can bench 500.
Yeah.
So he was probably
dude is
tremendous.
Still ripped.
Yeah.
Still ripped.
What is he going to do? You can't get fat if you're Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, you can get fat.
You can't. You're not allowed. You couldn't show up to a convention like, I'm Lou Ferrigno. And he's like, you know.
I mean, he was an 80s icon, right?
Yes.
Was he 70s icon? 70s icon?
70s and 80s. I used to watch the Hulk, like religiously.
Yeah, I did too when I was younger. I did too. I mean, it was cool.
I used to watch
time.
him with his first run because I'm old.
This is very true. You are actually.
Bling, bling,
you're like
bling,
twice
bling.
as old as our intern, I think.
Bling.
I think so.
No, she was born in 1981.
Oh, that's right.
Duh.
That's right.
Duh.
Speaking of 80s icons, Star Halloween. Oh, see, I did it much better this time, right?
That's all right.
I set it up.
Yeah, I've seen pros at segues, so you got to live up to it.
We are talking Halloween. What better to do Halloween than talk about the slasher movie universe? We do this every week. We go spinning the racks, but this one's spinning the racks Halloween edition.
Spin the rack, spin the rack.
See, that's Halloween edition.
Whoa, I was really scared.
That's some heightened sound effects that we got going on.
Yeah,
that was not just me going.
Expense.
That was not me just going into the microphone going. Woo.
Even though they could see that it was you on the camera.
Yeah, but the people listening on the podcast, like on iTunes and iHeartRadio,
right? They can't see anything.
SoundCloud, they can't see.
Yes,
that.
I just blew up your spot.
That's true, actually.
I'm sorry
That's
about
true.
that.
So, to anyone listening on the podcast, I did not just go.
No, he didn't.
That was pre-recorded. It was fantastic.
We went through great length. We went all the way to the Himalayas to get that sound.
We really tried hard on
we
that
did.
one.
We really did.
So I pulled this one up from a couple years ago. I thought this was interesting. Could Freddy Krueger, Jason, and Michael Myers join a slasher movie universe? They've actually talked about this. Now,
like a joint universe?
Like a Marvel Comics
oh my God.
esque
a murder
shared
universe.
A murderverse. A murderverse. We coined it. We coined it.
All right, we're done.
Patent pending.
Oof.
Patent pending.
Everybody in this room's rich.
I knew this show would pay off after a while. So, A, do you think that could happen? And B,
I'm gonna break protocol and swear that'd be the shittiest universe ever. Okay, like you would go to the universe and get killed. What would be the point?
Well, you don't actually.
You can't do
universe.
anything in a universe. You can't go to sleep. You can't go camping. Right?
Yeah.
You can't just wander around your town during Halloween because you might get frickin' murdered. You can't open this little toy box, little puzzle box, because some guy with pins on his head would fucking murder you. So I mean,
that was also
that would be a horrible universe.
I mean,
who would be in that universe? What would the stories be about?
Well, we're not talking about living. It's not like we're going around.
No one
and
would be
looking.
living.
No, but that's my point. Like we're going to go see the movie. We're going to go see the movie.
I understand.
You're not going to be in the movie. This is not like Last Action Hero, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to pop open and be like,
"Just stop. Just come with me for a second." In order to have a universe, you got to have stories, right?
Yeah.
In order to be like, oh, this Freddy, this Nightmare on Elm Street is a sequel to Friday the 13th that came out a year ago, right?
Right.
In order for me to do that, you have to have like a cohesive narrative.
Yes.
In order to have a cohesive narrative, you'd have to be telling stories.
Yeah.
Okay. So getting away from the fact that your main characters are all psychopath murderers, right? What would your stories be? I went to that town and almost got killed, and then I went to sleep and almost got killed, and then I mean, what would the story be?
That's what the writers are for. They come up with this. Why do we have to come up with this? I'm just saying, would you want to see something like this? And the answer is yes, of course we would.
I don't know.
And what about other movie universes? I mean, we had Freddy vs. Jason. That did very well.
Yes, it did.
Throw in Michael Myers.
But you know what happened? I almost got killed by that guy with the hockey mask, and then I went to sleep and almost got killed.
What if that's your story? What if there's somebody in there that's like a death magnet? What if Final Destination? Final Destination gets crossed over with all of these? What if that's the next Final Destination movie?
Okay.
Blew her mind. Done. Sam's like, I don't even know what Final Destination is, but that's okay.
Brains all over the place. Mind's blowing all over the place.
Freddy versus Jason versus Michael Myers. Who do you got?
Freddy versus Jason versus Michael Myers.
In terms of what you like the best.
Who would be my favorite?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Oh, Freddy.
Freddy, like, hands down, right?
Yeah. Not even a...
I actually posed the question out there to the masses, but no one could answer as to who would not choose Freddy. You know what I mean? Like who out there is not...
Freddy is the
like,
best.
Who's big into, like, Jason?
Freddy kind of is a cheat, though, because Freddy's basically the only one out of all of them with a personality.
Good point.
So
it's a good
that's
point.
why everybody...
It's a good point.
That's why people gravitate to him.
There's more depth to it, although... If you remember the original Friday the 13th lore, it was actually his mother.
But she didn't do a lot of talking either. She only talked at the end. She was she was basically, "I'm going to kill you."
This is true.
There wasn't a lot of nuance to
true.
it. You know, Freddy's got he turned a girl into a roach.
Yeah, I actually just rewatched
in a roach motel and then squished the roach motel. There's never been any genius like that. Ever since.
So let me go on another limb here.
Ever since. That is the height of
Nightmare on Elm Street
fantasy.
1 or Nightmare on Elm Street 3?
3.
Like, hands down, right?
Not even a
I just rewatched 3.
1, they were still trying to figure everything out, and they were still caught up in the old, like, psychological horror aspect of it. By 3, they had figured out, wait a minute, the jewel here is Freddy. We were turning Freddy into this kind of, this vast kind of nightmare, this amorphous nightmare. And no, put that guy in a sweater, give him some one-liners, and let him kill a whole bunch of, the prepubescent...
But like 2 was kind of funny, right? Because I think 2 is very laughable.
Have you ever heard the lore about 2?
No, I haven't heard the lore.
We can't really talk about it on
Why
the air.
not? We've talked about chocolate teddy bears. We've talked about many things.
It's kind of in
keeping
with that because supposedly it's a very popular fixture in the gay culture.
Really? Well, let's talk about that.
Because it was done.
Now I want to know.
So there's a lot of supposedly gay imagery in there from a guy being whipped with towels in the middle of the. Yeah, there's a lot of it.
I never really read into it that much.
And Freddy is in the kid's body. He tries to get in the kid's body, and every now and then, whenever the kid gets like kind of horny, Freddy comes out of the guy's body and then kills someone. Yeah.
Was it anti-gay propaganda or pro-gay propaganda?
No, it was mostly pro-gay. It was a nod though.
It was
back in the day. It was not a non-too subtle nod.
Really?
That's in the documentary. The I forget the name of the documentary. There was it's like a 4.5 hour documentary.
Wow. I just thought it was laughable when he appeared in the pool party and just started slashing people frantically in the pool party.
That's my least favorite.
That's all I remember.
Everyone's least favorite. I like 4.
I mean,
I like
when
3,
you get
4,
past,
and 5.
When you
Those
get
are my
past
favorites.
5, they all become.
And 5 isn't really that great.
No, 5's not very good, and 4 is not great either.
4 is not on par
1
with
is
3.
fantastic. 1 is fantastic.
I'm not a fan of 1.
Johnny Depp getting sucked through the bed at the end with the hand. Come on.
There's wonderful horror imagery in it. But
Yeah.
it as a movie in and of itself, it's not that great.
Yeah.
To me.
Priya shouted out Predator. I don't know where that came in. 80s icons.
Wants to see. She
80s
wants
icons.
She wants the Predator to join the
Predator a
slasher
horror
universe.
Movie? Is it? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, that first one was kind of a horror movie. It gets confused for action because Arnold's on it. Arnold.
Yeah,
in the movie.
It's an amazing movie, Predator.
It is a great movie.
It has nothing to do with Halloween.
I went to see that movie with my friends just before going away to sleepaway camp. That was a mistake.
Which Halloween, if you had to pick one? Let's say not 3. When they're,
you know what?
Although I like 3 actually.
The Season of the Witch. No,
I'm terrible.
No. I would actually pick Zombies remake, the first remake.
Okay.
Of that was a great movie.
All right.
But the first one, if I have to pick any of them, like from the original, it's John Carpenter's is the best.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Go out there, trick, treat, do all the fun things. And then come back here next week because we've got Paul Reiser, one of the new but familiar faces on Netflix, Stranger Things on, and he's going to give us the dirt.
May or may not be good or may or may
he's
not
gonna
have been
give us
necessary.
the dirt because it's going to already be released. It's going to be released this Friday, so he's going to give us the dirt.
We're going to ask him why he's in the sucky season.
Plus, we're going to preview Thor Ragnarok.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Hey, all you crazy listeners. Looking to boost your business? Why not advertise on Talking Alternative with very reasonable rates? Interested? Simply email at info@talkingalternative.com.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network at www.talkingalternative.com. Now, broadcasting 24 hours a day. Talking Alternative.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.